Journals. We've talked about them before, but I want to make sure everybody's clear on what the purpose of journals are and when you should have one and when you can avoid creating one. This is important because we don't want to be creating work for ourselves that doesn't create value. Sure, we could have tons of different journals and pass money through every single one of them, but most of the time we don't really need to do that, and it's not actually accurate either. So let's jump into it. So journals are groups of like transactions. Now for this, most of the time people are just going to have one sales journal, one purchases journal, and more than a few bank or credit card journals, depending on how your company functions. Now, generally speaking, I don't see people getting confused with sales and purchases because they're just there. It's not like you're going to create a bunch of different ones of these, although you could. It's generally the bank journals and the credit card journals that confuse people. Cash as well sometimes, but that's less so. So my basic rule of thumb is this. If you get a statement at the end of a period for whatever it is, if it's a bank, a credit card, or a merchant processor, you want a journal. Now for banks and credit cards, that may seem obvious. One journal, one account. Not necessarily one journal, one card, because if you have multiple credit cards that are all on the same statement, those would all be one journal. Okay, but let's talk about merchant processors for a second here. In general, you do not need a journal for a merchant processor. It just doesn't make sense. So for Authorize.net and Stripe specifically, you do not want a journal. You're not getting a statement at the end of a period from Authorize.net or the merchant processor that's tied to Authorize.net, and you're not getting a statement at the end of a period from Stripe. They don't hold on to your money. They don't maintain a balance, and they're not going to give you a statement to tie out to. This is important to note because we don't want to be just creating bank statement lines in this journal to try and tie out to all the transactions that flow through them. We want to let those transactions hit the bank account where they land. This is especially important to keep our payment methods clean. We do not want to have a journal that's Authorize.net and have a bunch of different payment methods that flow into Authorize.net and then need to be transferred from Authorize.net into our bank account. We don't need that extra step. Now, merchant processors like PayPal are different. They do maintain a balance. So what happens is people pay us through PayPal, the money goes into PayPal, and it sits there until we decide to pull money out of it. So that would be a journal because it acts like a bank account. It's not just a merchant processor. It's basically a merchant processor and a bank account, and we would get a statement at the end of a period from PayPal. So hopefully this shines a little light on things for you because, again, I've seen a lot of people that end up creating journals for all their merchant processors, creating bank statement lines to pass things through, and then transferring the funding into the bank account. You just don't need to do that. Okay, now that we've talked about banks and credit cards, let's spend a second on cash. Cash is a bit interesting because it's more situational than anything else. So say we don't have any cash registers, we're not accepting cash from our customers on site, but we do have petty cash. That is going to be a journal because we're keeping a balance of cash in a drawer or a box or something else, and we need to be able to see the transactions that flow in and out of it. And when we're getting more money to put into petty cash, that is a transfer from our bank account into petty cash. But say we also deal in cash, so our customers pay us with cash either through the point of sale or through other means. In general, the line where we want to draw whether or not we have a journal is if we have a cash vault on site. So let me explain the reasoning behind this. So usually companies deal with cash in one of two ways. They either collect all the cash that came in for the day, and the total of that cash goes directly into the bank account that night or the next day. In this instance, we would not have a journal because we're not maintaining the cash on site. And thus, there is no value to us creating a bank statement line to go into this cash journal before we move it to the bank because the total of what we took in for the day is just going to go to the bank for deposit. It's just a timing difference, really. Now, if we keep the money, or essentially we take the money and then we only deposit some of it, we would want a journal in that situation. So say we took in $350 that day. It goes back to our cash room, it's counted, and we decide that we're going to keep 50 on site and we're going to deposit 300. Well, that 50 is going to be added to the balance that we're maintaining on site. And because we're maintaining a balance, we need to have a journal to represent that. Okay, so the line there is, again, are we maintaining a balance relative to this journal, or is it just a timing difference? If it's a timing difference, we don't need another journal. If we're maintaining a balance, we do need another journal. So again, I don't want to see people ending up with tons of different journals that they don't need. It just adds a lot of time and complication to your bookkeeping process, and you don't need that. Just to reiterate one more time, if it's a bank, credit card, or cash, if you're maintaining a balance and you get a statement at the end of a period, whether it's a statement that you guys create internally or not, that's going to be a journal. If it's just a timing difference, you don't need a journal. That's the rule that we go by. Anyway, guys, I hope this was helpful. I'm going to be going through this same type of discussion for chart of accounts next week, so stay tuned if that's important to you. As always, if you have more specific questions or if you need some help, go ahead and drop it in the comments below, or grab some time on my Calendly, which is also linked. Along with that, if you'd like some help with bookkeeping in general and you like what you've seen here, go ahead and join one of my bookkeeping courses. Those are in the description as well. Thanks again for showing up, guys. We'll see you again soon.